You already intro these memes.
What did you say? The plans have changed for the 458. The last time I talked to you guys about this car, I said that we were gonna be dropping it off to paint on Monday, which is today. But after some heavy consideration,
we're doing it ourselves.
No.
Yes.
I talked to my boys over at Premium Auto Styling and they said they wanted to get involved just a little bit and help us out. So the tides have turned. The tides have changed. Rather than sending this to the paint shop and having them do some body work and spraying the front of this car, I decided that I was gonna try and save me some money and maybe have a little bit of fun before we do the Liberty Walk kit on this car. Before we wrap this car temporarily, I do plan to paint this car when we have the Liberty Walk kit in, but like I said, I'm not expecting to get that kit till about March or so. So we're gonna have like 2 months of this car being stock, and I didn't wanna paint the front end and then rip it all off because the Liberty Walk replaces the whole entire front end of the car. I didn't wanna just paint stuff and then throw it away. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it because it will save quite a bit of money. But before we wrap it, we need to fix these fenders because they are pretty dented still, and your boy wants to learn how to do some Bondo work. So today, we're going to finish these fenders, get them nice and smooth and ready for wrap.
The frame shop went ahead and tried to remove the clear bra and it left all of the residue. Clear bra was like stuck on there. To our rescue, Premium, the guys who's wrapping the car, ordered this for us. Usually this kind of job, you sit here and just contemplate why you exist, because this is super hard to remove. But I already tested this and look how good it removes it. Like,
ew.
Like imagine having to sit here and remove that, right? This thing says 60 seconds and you're good. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
That looks pretty well.
That took no time at all. I looked it up online. The 3 things that I clicked on, they were like, it's gonna suck, dude. Fingernails and some olive oil. What? What am I gonna do with olive oil? But Premium. Thank you.
Now that this clear bra is coming off, this is the Bondo work that's need to be done. It's not, so it's very, very, very minor, but we have this rash all the way down the side, and we also have a little bit of rash in the front. Something that we're gonna be paying attention to is the chipping paint. We're gonna have to sand some of the chipped paint on the inside of the fender wells because wrap will have a tough time getting over that. But as you can see, Calvin has quite a bit of more adhesive to get off, especially towards the lower end of the car. So while Calvin is getting this side off, I still need to remove the clear bra on this side of the car. I've already started peeling some of it, and this is where we're gonna need some Bondo work. Again, very, very minimal here. There's not too much depth in this. Definitely needs a thin little layer and some sanding to fix that up. And then on the edge here, we have some chipped paint that will affect a wrap. So we need to make sure that we can smooth all this out so that wrap will stick to it appropriately. The trick to removing any sort of vinyl or clear bra is heat. Heat is your friend. Use it wisely. Don't use it too much where you actually start burning stuff. But you want to heat up the surface here so this becomes a little bit more pliable and everything kind of comes right off. I personally have never done Bondo work, but Calvin has some experience with it. He did a lot of Bondo work on his Rallybacker kit for his BRZ, and I'm gonna start fixing up this. Now, this isn't too bad, like I said, it's pretty minimal, but I'm gonna need to mix some Bondo. And apart from the 20-minute YouTube video that I watched last night, I'm gonna have Calvin give me a little how-to explanation on how to set up the proper Bondo mixture.
So, whenever you look this sort of stuff up, Tej, everybody has a different proportion. Everybody has a different proportion because it's heavily variable by the climate you're in, which means like the temperature and the humidity. So what I usually do is I only use what I'm gonna use. You probably watched the video and he put like a lot. You don't want to, we're not doing that because you're only working on a patch about this size. So imagine the layer of Bondo you're about to put on the car is less thick than a credit card. So basically what I do is I dip the tip inside, that's it. That's all you need. This is the part where it's trial and error. If you add too much of this, it like becomes into molding clay within a minute, and then you're just like, and then you can't spread, so it's not good. So this is how much I put.
That's it.
That's it. I might get flamed, but I'm telling you, man, you kind of just mix it until you get like a, I like that color. And then if you're like, oh, it needs to be a little more red, oh man. And remember also, if you don't put enough of the red stuff, it doesn't harden at all. I want you to try it. I don't want to show you my technique. I want to see you try it. It's actually pretty enjoyable.
It looks pretty easy.
Okay.
I think it's easy.
Okay, no, that's fine, yeah. Hey, that's looking pretty spicy, Tej. Look at you, you're a chef now. From a doctor to a chef, Tej?
I'm a doctor of many things, Cal.
Doctor and some chef memes. Nice, Tej. That looks pretty good. Easy.
I'm not too happy with that area. I could feel it starting to get a little more clay.
Yeah, it turns to clay. Like, see, I put too much of the hardener in.
I think I got a good base coat. So we're gonna let that sit for 20 to 30 minutes, let that harden all the way. And then we're gonna go back in, sand that up a little bit and see how it does. Calvin said we probably should have taped some of this off, so we're learning, but I'm satisfied with that. Now, while this side is hardening up, let's jump over to the other side and see what we can get after. I'm gonna interrupt today's video to say thank you to our sponsor, SeatGeek. If you guys do not know what SeatGeek is, it's an app on your phone that allows you to buy tickets for stuff like concert or big events, anything like that sort. SeatGeek is great because it allows you to easily choose where you want to sit in the stadium and provides a seat map that has colored labeled options. Green being the best, yellow being okay, red being not really the best. If you use code TJ, it's gonna save you 20 bucks off of your first ticket purchase. 20 bucks at this event is huge. That's like a free popcorn and drink. Don't miss out on the deal. SeatGeek is the place to go when you're trying to buy tickets for anything around your area. Be sure to check them out and use my code TJ. Thank you so much for SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. And now let's get back to the normal programming.
This particular area has a low spot, so I'm adding a bit more Bondo so that when I go to sand it, and the tool we're gonna use is gonna use the shape of the body to allow us not to go deeper than it should be.
Now that the Bondo is dried up, we're gonna sand it down and try to get it to the same level as the paint on the Ferrari. If we end up going too low or we think we need to add more, that's fine. We'll just do the process again until it becomes perfect.
All right, so I pretty much just finished up this left-hand side. I did a lot more sanding than I thought I would, but it feels really, really good. What's interesting is I took a lot of the Bondo off. There's still a little bit filling in the crack, but it feels very, very even, very, very smooth. I probably did roughly like 20 minutes worth of sanding on it, going from a couple different grits to going to my last grit, which was pretty fine. That's gonna do us perfect for a wrap. And now what I'm gonna do next is a couple of these edges are a little bit flaky with paint. I'm just gonna get the super fine sandpaper and kind of just sand it a little bit to try to blend it a little bit more. Because for a wrap, all we really need is something smooth and something that the wrap will stick to. And anything on this inside edges here, the wrap will actually kind of wrap underneath this fender. So anything beyond this initial lip right here will be covered. So I'm not too concerned about these little imperfections. Because like I said, this wrap will probably only be on the car for maybe a month or two before the Liberty Walk comes in. So not that I'm cutting corners, but I'm not going to the full detail and extent that I would if this car was being painted and going to SEMA next week, you know what I mean? All right, now it's my turn to make this happen. So we need to do a couple more fills on the right side. That's way too much, huh?
Oh my God.
Like, see, it doesn't look like a lot. Like, for me, I'm only a couple hours into this. I don't know about you, but I like love the way this smells.
Oh no, I love it.
I feel like I'm just like burning brain cells, but
It smells so good.
it smells really good. Okay, then we're gonna add some hardener. Try to not to squirt too much of this out. One thing that when I was looking at tutorials on this, what a lot of people were saying is don't be afraid to use a lot of this stuff. It's not expensive. Literally $8-9 or so for all of this stuff. So use a lot if you need to. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
You might need more. You have a huge glob there.
A little more, all right.
Maybe a dot more.
Just a dabble, do ya?
Ooh, yep.
Oh, I sucked it back up, Cal. Mix it up. This is what separates the north from the south, Cal. The White Walkers are coming.
Oh my God.
Cal, I'm about to finish season 7 right now. Cersei and Daenerys are about to go ham. I need some more. Need some more fighting power for the north, Cal.
I'm looking for
but I'm learning. Here you go. That's decent. So the last bit of Bondo that we need to do is on the right-hand side. Calvin did a magnificent job.
Thank you.
That is unreal. That is like, if I was blind, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even know.
I appreciate that.
That's pretty good. Then on this side too, excellent job. Very, very smooth. So we're gonna do the last bit. There's like some rash right here. Originally we were gonna try to sand that out, but a little brief application of Bondo. Oh, sorry, sir. Oof, oof, oof.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There it is.
Here we are. Oh yeah, look at that. TJ,
dude,
you're chef.
I watched a video and I was like, I already know how to do that. It was like I watched it happen. I'm like, I just downloaded the skill. All right, I'm happy with that. This one's a little bit bigger.
Ooh.
Ready? So I go up. I'm just gonna
wipe me. Oh, wipe me.
That is so satisfying. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wipe me. Wipe it on me. Oh, just a good smear. It's like you've done this before, Teach.
I haven't. Look at that.
It's like
that's
you've done
epic. I'm gonna leave that. It's
That's
a little
good,
rough
yeah.
there, but that is a perfect application.
That is such a good smear.
That is great.
That is a great smear.
Dude, Bondo's fun. I'm a Bondo bandit.
That's a bad thing, I think.
But I like it. Bondo work is really fun. All right, we're gonna give this again 10, 20 minutes, let it harden all the way, and then I'm gonna go back in with some sanding and see how she goes. As I was waiting for that to dry, I just found another piece of the car that needs to get some Bondo work. The bottom left rear corner here is really scraped up, and I thought this bumper was plastic. It's actually fiberglass. So that's a big, big, big chunk. Oh look, here's more clear bra. So I'm gonna start by taking this clear bra off, and then I'm gonna whip up a bunch more Bondo, and we're gonna try to fill this right here. This is a lot different than the front because this is like a round curve shape, whereas the front was hard edges. In my opinion, that was a little bit easier, so we're gonna see how much harder it is to do this round surface.
That is so much.
That's not enough.
That's a fuck.
You're right, way too much. Let me return some of that to the seller. There you go, returned. You gonna watch me do my dab? Come on, man. Oh, Cal, I think I put too much red sauce. How do you know when you've put in too much sauce?
Go time, baby.
It's gonna be hard.
Just give it a spread. You don't need more. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Fucking spread it.
Yeah, spread it.
Just finished sanding out the front right fender. Pretty happy with how it came out. This one took quite a while just because it was a really awkward angle to get to, but it's very, very smooth. The vinyl should go over that just nicely. This right fender was in the worst shape by far, and it actually smoothed out quite nice. I did some extra sanding on this inside of the fender here because this was just some chipped paint, so I was just doing some sanding work to kind of blend it together, and it all kind of came together super, super nicely. So overall, I'm pretty satisfied with how today has gone. The last thing I'm gonna do is I'm still waiting up for this Bondo over here to dry up. It's still just a little bit tacky, which this one's gonna be probably the most difficult, and it's a lot of Bondo. So give us about 10 more minutes and we'll get after it.
Good body working, man. It was body work.
I put a lot of Bondo on this, which is gonna take a while.
I've gotten a pretty good job on the lower side of the bumper. There's a couple little like baby pits that I want to try and get out. So Calvin, whip me up some more. Give me just a little bit over here, a little over here, and then a little bit right here. And then once I finish that out, we should be pretty much good.
Oh yeah, Tej. You're just a doctor. You're just a doctor.
Feels really good now. Could probably stop here any moment.
It's gonna look so good when it gets wrapped.
Yeah, it's gonna look really good. It's a little bit hairy underneath, but none of that is really visible once the car is wrapped, so I'm not like too concerned with it, but I'm really trying to make sure that these rounded edges is like what's most important, so I'm really trying to make sure that that is pretty smooth and is all the same.
Pretty big improvement. This edge was really bad.
Yeah. The problem with Bondo work is it doesn't look good right away, but it feels so good.
Yeah. All right, this is where I'm gonna end today's video. Made really good progress today. It took around 4 hours, 5 hours to hit every single spot and sand it down so it's ready to be wrapped. Then we fixed the inner edges on the fenders. So I'm very, very happy with that, especially it being my first time doing Bondo work. Not as scary as it looks. Any of you are looking to tackle it yourself. My first time was on a Ferrari. I did a pretty good job. I know you guys will be able to kill it. It's not as intimidating as it looks once you actually start doing it. I'm actually leaving for Hawaii tomorrow, so I'm gonna be on a little like 4-day vacation. I'm actually really looking forward to it. Anyways, thank you for watching another video on the 458. We are now ready to be wrapped. So the moment we get back from Hawaii, we're gonna start wrapping this thing, and hopefully by then all of our parts have got in so we can start jamming on the front end of that car. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out and keep moving forward.
And I'm feeling good.